Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I thought I would create a tag today. I just got a red bug fly onto me. I saw somebody, I think it was yesterday on Facebook, in I think Supportive Tarot's group, talking about a deck that they loved and couldn't part with, but it's not a deck that has any particular use in their tarot practice. So I thought I would create a tag for that on YouTube. We've talked about irreplaceable decks, decks we can't live without, our top 10 faves of all time. I thought it would be interesting to put out a tag that, much like that, it's the premise of it's decks that really you don't need. They serve no particular purpose in your tarot collection or practice, but you can't part with them either. Like, they're decks that you really don't see yourself not having. So I thought that would be a cool tag. I'm going to label the tag, Why Are You Here? So, yeah, I just thought it would be a fun tag. I have 17 decks. So without further ado, I'm going to do my two minis here because they're many. This is the Gilded Tarot Royale. I have the Easy Tarot, which is the kit of the Gilded Tarot. And I saw the mini and I'm like, I need the mini. I don't need it. But I love Chiara Marchetti's work. I have several of his decks. Why not a mini? And it's so cute and tiny, and I love it. And it's got a little bit different coloration than the regular Gilded Tarot, so that's why I'm like, I need this. I need it in my life. I don't, but y'all know what I mean. Because I don't think I've seen a tag like this before, where it's just random decks that you have in your collection for no reason other than you wanted them. So yeah, that is the Gilded Tarot Royale mini. And because I have brought so many decks outside, I went ahead and I'm showing you guys the mini of my Line Strider Tarot, because the other one comes in a huge box and I didn't have room for all of them. But the Line Strider Tarot is another one. And this is the only deck I have with so much white space. And when I thought about this deck, when I did irreplaceable decks, it would have been in there. Because it's the only deck I have with this much white space, but it works for this deck. Normally I wouldn't care for a deck with this much white space, but I love this deck. Love the art. In fact, I have a Lenormand deck that I found off Make Playing Cards. The cards are like huge cards, like this big. And they're the same art style, so it looks like they came from the same creator. I don't think they did, but it looks almost like the same creator. So yeah, I thought that was cool. So this is the Line Strider Tarot in the mini. I have the big version. I actually had the mini before I got the big version. It's just so small, and there's so much white space, I needed it to be a bigger size. But for the purposes of this video, I'm showing you all the mini because I carried all these outside. And it's so hot. We've had such a horrible heat wave. It's been like almost 100 degrees every day. And with the heat index, it's been like over 100. No breeze. And if you do get a breeze, it's like a heat coming at you. It's horrible. So my next deck is the Tarot Muha. I actually etched this in like a peachy orange to match the backs. Came out beautiful. This deck I got, it's one of the first decks I ever bought. It was a knockoff. I was so disappointed because this deck is beautiful. And then I ran into somebody that, I didn't run into somebody. I saw somebody post online that they were giving theirs away for like $10. And I'm like, I'll take it. And so I bought it from them. It's used. And then I put my little edge stamped on it. This is a low scare barrel deck. But it's well loved. And I will love it as well. It's kind of bowed a little bit. But I don't care. It's got this weird nostalgia for me to it, for when I first started my tarot practice. So this and the Santa Muerta, which is not in this video because the Santa Muerta is in my Halloween decks, so I didn't think it would be fair to put it in this as well. But these two decks are the decks I was like, I need those decks when I first started my tarot practice. And then it took me a minute to get them because I got the knockoffs on, didn't realize they were knockoffs when I got them. But this one came from Provo, Utah. Right after I went and visited my daughter in 2020 for my birthday, I was like, if I had known 2 weeks ago, I would have met you in person and got the deck then. See, they wouldn't have had to charge shipping. But yeah, so because it was like I was in Provo in that area 2 weeks before, so I just thought that's pretty cool. Next we have most of these decks are TV shows or movies. Next I'm going to give you the only Oracle deck I have in this collection. It is the Spiritual AF cards. They come in a little 2-part box. Comes with a little stand here, and they're literally just affirmators with bad words on them. But I love this deck. And then it's got description on the back. Let's see here. Stop saying yes to stuff you hate. Courage is knowing it might hurt and doing it anyway. Stupidity is the same. That's why life is hard. Things get harder before you level up. Know that. It's just these crazy awesome cards. They're awesome. And I've actually taken these to work quite a bit. And people at work has pulled cards from these because they're just like, oh, what am I going to pull today? It's going to be so dirty. And then it's something profound and they're like, oh. It's like calling you out on all your bull is this deck. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool for that. I'm trying not to drop them, but there's a lot of cards here. There's like, I think over 100 cards. But they all say different things. Beautiful things happen when you distance yourself from negative shit. Like, it's awesome. Ancient proverb, if you meet more than 2 assholes a day, you're it. Yeah. That's awesome. Go outside and do shit. They're just hilarious. Hilarious. So these are my Spiritual AF cards. They were like $12 on Amazon. But look how many, there's so many cards. And then there's 2 different decks. I don't think that one curses, but this one does. And that's why I love it. And I actually saw this for the first time on Lisa Pappas' channel. I'm like, I need that deck. And I've used it a lot. A lot. Sorry, I'm bouncing the screen up and down. And probably making noise. Okay. Next we have the Supernatural Tarot. I was super disappointed in this deck because it is a deck published by Inside Editions by Minerva Siegel. I think if you're going to do a TV show, I love the inside though, and the cards are amazing. The book is cool. If you're going to do a TV show, I mean, I love this World card. It's probably one of these 2 are my favorite cards in there. The Chariot and the World. It's totally fit. Totally fit. But then there's some in the minors that don't. I think there could have been better images. And of course it is a partial pip deck. Blades are swords. It just didn't set right with me. Pentacles, little pentagrams, cups, and then the bones are the wands. Now, for the people that's in it, I think it did good. But for the majors, yes. But for the minors, they could have had some different scenes. This death card is awesome because he is death. if you've seen the show. But yeah, it's got a lot of the same. I like the strength card. It's got a lot of the same imagery that I'm nostalgic about this TV show, except when it comes to the minors. For some reason, the minors, I don't mind the pips. But when it comes to certain people, there's Abel, Cain, yeah. When it comes to certain people in the minors, I think they could have picked better choices. But that is the Supernatural Tarot, and even if I never use it, I'm going to keep it because I love Supernatural TV show. I've watched, I think, all but the last season when they ended it. I love the show, so it's something that I'm never going to part with because of that. Next, we have the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot. I have trimmed this deck. I have edged this deck. It was my first trimmed deck, and I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good either. This was the size of the cards. There's 4 extras in here of the original art of those particular cards. This was the size. This is the size now. Vastly different. I did cut some of the image off, but the main part of the images are still there. And I did a few crooked, so some do look... my favorite card in here is the Hierophant, and I edged it in black. So they're more... almost like a low Scarabaro tech box size now. But I love it. Love it to death. It's a beautiful deck. Beautiful, beautiful deck. Let me find the Hierophant in here. I love this 7 of Pentacles. Where are you? I like this moon card with the moon phases. Of course, I'm never going to find it now. Never going to find it. Oh, right there. He's kind of crooked. But unless I point it out, unless you're probably standing in front of me, you can't tell. That's one of my favorite Hierophant cards in any deck. Top 5. But that is the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot. It's beautiful. And someday I think I will get another copy just to have the full size that's not trimmed. And I love this like matte box. It's beautiful. I paid $18 for this 2 years ago. Now it's like $25. I'm like, okay. It's getting hot out here, sorry. I have so many more decks to show you. Let me get these 3 behind me. So this is off Make Plain Card. No, this is off Etsy. It's the movie tarot, but it's the independent version, not the mass market version. Way better, I think, because it actually gives you the name of the movie and the title of what the card is. This is the full. And I think it fits. It goes very well. She put a lot of thought into this. And I love it. I love it. I've used this just to see what movie I wanted to, what kind of movie I wanted to watch that day or something. Knight of Wands, 10 Things I Hate About You. I love that movie. I love Heath Ledger. Thor. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Oh my God. Judgment is Constantine. Come on, Keanu Reeves. He's in this deck like 4 times. I'm like, yes, totally. Dirty Dancing, Ace of Cups. Come on. Patrick Swayze. He's in it with Keanu Reeves as well. The Talented Mr. Ripley. Just talked about that deck. 9 to 5. Moulin Rouge. Here's the Ace of Swords, Point Break. Keanu and Patrick Swayze. 3 of Cups, the Footloose. I mean, it works. 4 of Swords, Brokeback Mountain. If you've seen Children of Men, I love this movie. It's very dark, but that depiction is awesome. Knight of Wands, or Eight of Wands, John Wick. Queen of Cups, Pride and Prejudice. I love this Queen of Cups. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, here's Heath Ledger again. Nine of Cups, Knight's Tale. Love that movie. Mamma Mia, the Sun card. Come on. I mean, it works. It works so well. King of Cups, Mud. Like, it's awesome. I've used this a lot. Terminator. Come on. My best friend's wedding. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful deck. Some movies I don't know what they are, but this is an awesome deck, and I don't know if it's still available on Etsy, but it was on. I got it on Etsy, and you just look up the movie tarot. It's gonna look like this. It's in a white, nice tech box. Awesome deck. Next we have the CS Tarot. I got this on like playing cards. I have this deck in, oh my gosh, the orange cracklebacks. I went on a RWS deck buying binge. This was one of them. And I don't really use this deck a whole lot because if you've seen any of my previous channel, mostly I use the 2.0, which is, I also gotta make playing cards. If I'm reaching for a RWS or my borderless. But I cannot see getting rid of this just because the coloration in it is beautiful. The backgrounds are beautiful with the cracklebacks. It's not a deck I would ever get rid of. It's beautiful. But there's no rhyme or reason to having this deck because I do have other RWS decks that I use. I really don't use this one a whole lot. But it's got to be in my collection. I have to have it. So that's kind of why I'm doing this tag. It's like, these are decks I know I will never get rid of. They're still here anyway. There's no rhyme or reason to why I own them. But I still got them. CS Tarot. Next we have Zend Out Journey Tarot. I just got this year. I did not know this was a deck that was even in print. I saw somebody do show off their decks they had, and I'm like, where did that come from? Because the colors in it are gorgeous. It is a pip deck, but the coloring in it is probably one of the prettiest coloring, girliest looking decks I have. But the pips are gorgeous in this. Look at this ace. I mean, come on, it's gorgeous. And then you have stuff like this. The tower, it throws you off with its cuteness, and then it hits you hard. And I love it for that. Even though it is a pip deck, it packs a punch. This deck does. So that's why it is in my collection. It was kind of like the bubble gum at the end of the aisle purchase for me, and I could not be happier. It is a gorgeous deck. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous deck. The pentacles in this are especially beautiful. Zend Out Journey Tarot, and they also have, I have a little book that comes with it, a little white book, but it actually has a hardbound book. It's like $14 that you can get for this deck as well on Amazon. The deck I think was $17. It's not a bad bargain. So next we have I started watching Friends in 1994 when it came on. Every Thursday, no matter what was going on in my life, every Thursday at 7 o'clock Central Time, I was in front of the TV watching Friends. So when I realized there was a Friends deck, I'm like, of course I have to get this deck. What shocked me, I don't like the cardstock. It's thin, or it's kind of like cardboard. I do love the backs. It's the door. I do love this deck. Believe it or not, it's very poignant, this deck. It's beautiful in its simplicity too. It is very RWS, but if you've seen the show and you've seen it as many times as I've seen it, you would know every little nuance, every little catch that they do in this deck that makes it a smart deck. Like, smell the fart acting in the background. Like, and this is the Eight of Pentacles, hard at work. He's, and it just brings to mind, you know, he's doing the smell the fart acting. It's just, look at this, Queen of Wands, beautiful. And I love Phoebe's the Sun card in this. I love it. Look at the Page of Swords. And look at Ross, man, with this, he's just been through it. Makes sense for that. And of course, Ross and Rachel for the Lovers card makes total sense. Joey is the Fool. Has to be him, right? The Death card. Now, Ross has the Death card, and if you remember, he sent flowers to his second wife, Emily, and she sent them back cut up into mulch. And I just think that was cool because him being the Death card and then he's surrounded by the red flowers is just interesting. It's just, there's little quirks like that through the whole thing, and I love it. I love it. So hard for that. Love this as the Chariot. Chariot is my soul card, so yeah. This is one of those cards I'm talking about. It's smart because this is Chandler with the ex-girlfriend, the one that he stole from Joey, who then betrayed him. And that's the Ten of Swords, this stabbing in the back. She's literally got the sword waiting, and I'm like, that's so smart. So smart. So, yeah. And look, the Sun card is so beautiful. Of course it's Phoebe. It's just, there's things like that. And then Smelly Cat. just amazing deck. It's so smart and so beautiful, and I love it. 2 pieces. Don't read with it all the time because I have to really be in the mood for it. But, yeah, I love this deck. I would never not have this deck unless it didn't exist. Because I'm a Friends nut. I've seen every episode. I have all the DVDs. There's special editions that I have that have games on them that you can play. I beat them all. There's no trivia on Friends you cannot tell me, and I won't know it. Moving on. Life is Like a Board Game Tarot. Got this on Etsy also. The tech box is pretty well, very sturdy. But you guessed it, it's kind of like Monopoly. Can't say that, but this is the backs. And then, of course, it has the different coloring, just like the game pieces on Monopoly. And then it's just got wordings on it. And then it tells you below what this one's the Ten of Swords, Darkest Before the Dawn. Yeah. And then we got the Devil card is the Jail. The Sun card is the Sun. The Hermit is the Electric Bill. And then you just got like all these different ones here. Avenue, Gardens. Like, it's cool. If you are wanting a deck that just gives you a quick thing and you're gone, this is the deck to buy. And it was like $25 on Death card. It was like $25 on Etsy. Pretty cheap. It's a very good card stock for well, it's an indie deck, so it's very good card stock. I was shocked. Damn, that Sex Place 5 of Cups. The Lovers. It's a beautiful deck, and I don't use it as often as I should be using it. I didn't use it in the beginning because I was still getting to know the tarot deck. And I'm like, oh, this is going to confuse me. So I didn't use it as often. Now I could, if I want just a quick draw. I should probably incorporate this in my morning because I don't have a lot of time in the morning anymore. So maybe I should incorporate it and pull a quick card in the morning. That's an interesting thought. Next we have Low Scarecrow Tarot. I just bought this one recently as well. It is published by Low Scarecrow. It is one of their older decks. I saw this and was like, yeah, I need this deck in my life. And then I forgot about it. And then I got the Tarot Spreads book this year, and I'm like, what deck is on the cover of that? Turns out it's this deck I forgot about. But I love it. It's very antique-y to me, and I love that concept, but it's old. Love it. Love it, love it. This Fool is one of the main reasons I wanted this deck. This Fool. It's crazy. I love it. It's beautiful. 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 And that's the Little Scarab Tarot. I got like 5 more decks. That's why I'm going a little faster, because this side seems like it's going down faster than it normally does. It's almost 8, but it ain't been going down to like 9. Because I was trying to do another video out here, but I might not be able to. Next we have Housewives Tarot. I love this deck. I don't use it that often, but I get a kick out of this deck. If you're wanting a good laugh, this is a great deck. I think it's also pretty smart as well. The World card, Judgment, and that is kind of dark, because it's this person. It's kind of like they're judging themselves, because they got the stake on their back. Empress, Fool, and I'm only going to show you guys the majors in this because they're separated, and I keep them separated in the box. That looks like a little recipe box, and it actually has some recipes in there. Then these are the backs. The Sun card, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, the Seth card, Salmonella, amazing. The Hermit. I love this 50s vibe to this. I saw this and the Zombie Tarot. I think they're the same creator. The Tower, Sigillimo, that's awesome. Strength is the scrubbing pads, that's awesome. The Chariot, who has not had this card as a kid? Come on. The Lovers, that's cool. Hangman. And I've always wanted this deck. I love this Devil too. And then the Temperance card. I think it's a smart deck. Just like the Zombie deck, Zombie Tarot makes me laugh. But I know in a hard-hitting reading, it's going to do its job. So I love that. So that is the Housewives Tarot. And as soon as I got I saw it and the Zombie Tarot at the same time. And then I went and immediately got the Zombie Tarot. And then I'm like, I need this one. I couldn't find it anywhere for the longest. And then it was in my local metaphysical shop for $15. And I'm like, it's fake. Next we have the Old English Tarot. I got this from a friend of mine by Maggie Keene. It's published by U.S. Games. This particular one was like $98 or something like that. It has a price tag of $7.95 on it. I got it for like $3 from my friend. But it is a used deck. It is also a pip deck. But I like it. I like the antique-y feel of it. I have no other deck in my collection like this deck. And I like that it's got, like, it reminds me of the, oh my god, the Uzi deck. Because it's got some images in the bottoms, so you can glean what's being inferred in the picture. The wands are batons, and I think that speaks to how old school the deck is. This Two of Swords, which camp are you in? I love that. It's got just enough imagery to help you decide what needs to be gleaned in the deck. And then the Fool. And I don't use this one as much as I used to either. Swords. We have the Ten of Swords here. Ship is sinking. The cups are beautiful in this deck. There's the Death card. It is a cute little deck. I love the pentacles in this. Look at the Seven of Coins, the empty fields there. Wow. Chariot. Chariot just keeps popping up. Huh? It is a gorgeous deck. Gorgeous. gorgeous deck. And I don't know that I could ever see myself without it. It's just that cute. So that is the Old English Tarot by U.S. Games. For some reason, took it out of the bottom. It does have a little white book with it. Kind of like the Joie de Vivre I have. Beautiful. Then we have the TV series Tarot. That's why I got this deck. That is The Mentalist, and it's one of my favorite crime shows. I love it. These are the backs. It is a low scare barrel deck. Full. I'm just going to show you all my favorites in here. Weeds. Some of these I think I know, and then I don't. Dexter. Love it. 6 Feet Under. That's the only downfall of this deck. It doesn't tell you, even in the little white book, what show it is. Fringe. I love that show. Little House on the Prairie. Xena, Warrior Princess. Addams Family. Bones, another one of my favorite criminal shows. The Mentalist. Love it. Love it, love it, love it hard. Where are they at? This is Orange is the New Black. Dallas. See, there's so many different ones. Lost. Love that show. I think that's Rizzoli and Isles. Walker. Texas Ranger. Big Bang Theory. Is it the Dark Mirror, the Broken Mirror, the Black Mirror? I don't know. Dark Mirror, I think. Miami Vice. And Magnum P.I. Shows I grew up on. And they've come back. Both of them, I think, have come back. Which is just crazy. Mork and Mindy. Bewitched. Where are they? Chips. We got Fonzie in here too. Fonzie. Love it. Where they? I must have passed them. I think this is a Serendipity. I think it's called. Zombie that does a zombie show. Walking Dead. Castle. My other fave show. And then a whole bunch of stuff in between. But yeah, I love it. I love it. It's kind of cool because a lot of these I don't know. And because I don't have an instant knowing of what it is, it's kind of cool to guess and figure out what's going on in the image. And then versus the ones I do know. Which the ones I do know, like this one is the Magician. This card works for the Mentalist because he's sort of a magician. So I love that. Love it. 2 decks left, and both of them are from a movie, TV show, books. This is the Shadowhunters Tarot. It comes with its own pouch. Thick deck. I haven't used it yet. These are the backs. But it's beautiful, and I could not, as soon as I found out this and the next deck existed, I bought them. I'm like, I don't care if I ever use them, they have to be in my collection. And I love that they have the name here of who it is, because it's been so long since I've read the books or seen the movie. I had no idea. I had to reacquaint myself when I first got this deck with who everybody was. I love that there's a limited color palette in each suit is different colors. The blades are swords. The rings are pentacles. The curse, that's the hangman. 2 stales is the wands. And then the runes are cups, but they have the colors backwards. Because the runes are cups, but they're orange. And then the stales are wands, but they're blue. So yeah, and if you go to their website, if you just look this deck up, and you'll be able to get it still. It's still available. It's like $25. Worth it if you love this show or movie or the books. I've read all the books too. It will tell you on their website what the suits are, because there's no book with this. But yeah, that's the Shadowhunters Tarot. And I might get the other video in. One more deck, and it is the Carrie Marie Monings. If you have not read her series of books, they're all supernatural, paranormal romances. One of my favorite authors. Fever Tarot. There's a series called the Fever series that she wrote. It's stunning. And I love that there's never going to be probably a show or a movie based on these books. Quite racy. A lot of weird, bad things happen to our heroine in it. So I think it's cool that I have, because it takes place in Dublin, Ireland. These cards are humongous cards. But they are gorgeous cards. It takes place in Dublin, and I'm a very visual reader. So it's just kind of cool to see some of the images that I thought of come to life in this deck. And this is a very, very dark deck, because the books are very dark. They're very grown up. And yeah, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous deck. And I could not ever see myself without this. Now that I know, I just found out it existed a couple months ago, and I'm like, I have to get this deck. And it was $20. So and the cardstock is amazing. And they're literally like little portraits of these people that are now emblazoned in my mind, because I have images of them. So, and it doesn't come with a book either, but it's awesome. Awesome deck. Awesome. Like right there looks like to me a dark seedy alley in Dublin now. It's awesome. Awesome. And I love it. The only other deck I want from a TV show or movie is the Penny Dreadful deck that she used in Penny Dreadful, the show. Which it's out there, but it's like $55, and it's a total pip deck. So I'm like, I don't want to pay $50-something for a pip deck. This deck is gorgeous, though. I mean, I was shocked that it was $20. And considering how huge it is. And they didn't charge for shipping. So, yeah, it was $20. So that is all of my decks that have no particular use in my collection. But I cannot see myself without them. And I'm going to do it a hashtag, what are you doing here? So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night. Bye.